lot of offense, but even though there have been a lot of points, there's also been some very good defense played in this football game. Well, let's talk a little bit about some of the great coaches in this game, and certainly the man for whom this trophy is named and whose face appears on this trophy, Eddie Robinson at Grambling. This is the Eddie Robinson Trophy. It is given to the Division I AA Coach of the Year. He is Irk Russell, and he is the subject of this story.
It's hard to believe that 8 years ago, Georgia Southern didn't even have a football program, yet alone a football stadium. In that short time, Irk Russell has built a dynasty here, winning the national championship twice. Today's game marks the 4th time in the last 5 years the Eagles have been to the big game. Irk Russell is truly the stuff legends are made of.
It's hard to believe that going into the 9th season and looking back over the years that things have happened the way they have. When we went Division I AA in 1984, I really thought that was professional suicide.
Instead of ending his head coaching career prematurely, Irk and his Eagles nearly made it to the playoffs in that first year on the 1AA level.
8-3 in our first year in Division I AA was really a shock to me. And then I was even more shocked when we were able to win a national championship in 85. And then you move on to 86, and everybody else figured, well, they won it last year, and we can expect them to do it again. But I was still surprised that we did it in 86. The odds against the team doing that are tremendous, and we were very fortunate.
Irk's been more than fortunate when it comes to life off the football field. This down-home, good old boy loves living the simple life in the small South Georgia town of Statesboro.
These are my kind of people, and hopefully I'm their kind of people, too.
The 63-year-old head coach definitely is. When the University of Georgia came looking for a head coach to replace the legendary Vince Dooley last year, the people came together and rallied to keep Russell at Southern and breathed a major sigh of relief when Irk decided to stay.
Maybe a few years ago, I would have thought longer and harder about it. But at that point, when the opportunity came, I didn't feel like making a 4 or 5 year commitment to anybody or anything. Not even my wife.
The coach is so popular, he's even got his own song.
Every day at practice time, you could see him arrive. He stood 6 feet tall, weighed 225. He was bald at the top and narrow at the hip. And everybody knew you didn't give no lift to Big Irk.
That's embarrassing.
It is?
Yeah, it is. It really is.
Why is that?
Well, it's just embarrassing. I'm a below-average looking individual, for one thing, and I think, you know, I'm fat, bald-headed, and people naturally relate to folks like that. I always stop and think, what's the big deal? After all, what's the big deal?
2 national championships, 3 out of 4 years you're there.
Mitch, I just happened to be here. If I hadn't been here, somebody else would have done the same thing.
Irk Russell's worked miracles at Georgia Southern, creating a program that's gone from winning games to winning seasons to winning national championships. Something the Eagles would like to do.
Just one more time for Big Irk.
Earlier today, Irk Russell out on the playing field. No, that's not the Incredible Hulk. That's the first shirt that he ever wore as a football coach at the University of Georgia. That thing has been around for a few years, needless to say. Here's how the voting went. And the 2 coaches that we have in the ballgame today, I think it's fairly obvious. They are the number 1 and 2 ranked coaches in the country, at least according to the results in the voting for the Robinson Award. And Stan White actually broke up and brought up an interesting point. What if Eddie Robinson won the Eddie Robinson Trophy? Only man in the world can win his own trophy. Let's go down to the playing surface now. This is the Georgia Southern Eagle Marching Band. So 2 weeks in a row, the last 3 bars with the performance of a marching band. 20-17, we'll be back.
Hello? Penny, good news. I can visit for the holidays.
Great, Mom. Oh, no. This carpet's a disaster.
Don't worry, Penny. You're in luck. During our just-in-time sale, Bob's Carpet Mart can solve your problem. We have thousands of yards of floor-tested carpets of Trevira in stock, and it's all marked down 35 to 50%. We'll install your floor-tested Trevira carpet in time for your visitors just in time for the holidays.
Wow, just in time. Thanks, Bob.
The best investor is a well-informed investor. So call Monex for this easy-to-read guide to investing in precious metals. You'll discover interesting investment opportunities, including how you can control $10,000 worth of gold, silver, or platinum with only $2,000 down. Just call 800-854-3361 for your free guide. Call now, and we'll also send you our exclusive report, Why Gold Now? Call 800-854-3361.
When I was in high school, I knew that I wanted to go to college. My father has always been in academics. He's been a professor on the college level for most of my life. My mother was also involved on the college campus. Athletics for me served as a luxury. Actually, it was almost like dessert. You know, my father would say, son, work hard, do your schoolwork. If you accomplish your schoolwork, I'll allow you to play sports. If we failed to do well in a semester, then we would have to quit participating in that particular sport for that semester. I think higher education is very important. But one of the things I would stress is that a lot of our students never make it to higher education. And one of the things we have to do is begin to work with students early on.
This message furnished by the NCAA.
20-17 ball game. We're at halftime. This is the Division I AA championship game. Georgia Southern, the home team, leading the Stephen F. Austin Lumberjacks, but I tell you, it really is looking like the last team to have possession of the football offensively might win it. We had the coach of the year in I AA. What about the player of the year? Well, the player of the year is also a quarterback. He plays up in Moscow, Idaho. His name is John Freeze, and he is definitely a pro prospect. Freeze, a big guy, 6'5", and we had an opportunity to talk with him about his chances in the NFL. John Freeze, great size, big hands, great receivers.
The thing that can help me the most is not so much numbers or things like that, but just proving that I'm a winner, coming out of a small school, and that I have those little things that make up a good quarterback.
Well, John is a creator. John will create his own environment. He's like an artist. A 10-yard dump-off pass here, let me run for 15 yards over here, then I'll kill you with my 50, 60-yard bomb. This year, John is definitely far ahead of the rest of the crop. There is not another quarterback worth much less even a third-round draft pick outside of John. John is a definite first-round pick.
John L. Smith is in his first year coaching the Vandals. He knows that Freeze's All-American arm is the key to Idaho's winning. But despite a laid-back attitude off the field, it's sometimes tough keeping up with him when he's on.
He always had a strong arm and was gifted as far as throwing the football. His maturity, the things that you can do with him is just unbelievable, just his knowledge of the game. You know, he can do whatever you want to do as a coach. He can change all the blocking schemes. He can go ahead and audible to just anything you want. The main thing we have to do is keep in mind that the team can't quite keep up with John. John can do just about whatever you want, but you got to make sure you tone it down to where the team can do everything that he's going to call.
Freeze stands tall at 6'4". He can read a defense and spot a receiver quickly and has a consummate knowledge of the game. But if there's one weakness in his game, it's a self-admitted lack of quickness. And with a size 14 shoe, his teammates naturally love to tease their captain.
You know, we kid him somewhat, but us receivers, as receivers, we don't kid him too much because then we know the ball's not going to come our way. So we kind of keep it, yeah, John, I know you can run a 4.7. Your feet are just in the way. So
he knows he's not the quickest, but he tries. That's the best thing. I mean, he'll lean for more yards than he'll run for, but we just make sure when he runs, he's by the sidelines and he's looking for the down market so we can get him out of bounds. Sometimes we even push him out of bounds so no one will hit him. But he runs hard, but it's not quite there yet.
Despite his shortcoming, Freeze is expected to go in the first round. And though being in the spotlight may at times be uncomfortable, it seems almost inevitable. Despite the attention, John has both feet firmly planted on the ground.
I'd like to succeed in the next few years, and partly because of a lot of other people, family and friends. You know, a lot of people have high expectations. But so far I've tried not to believe in those high expectations too much because in case you get a setback. Nothing's for sure, and I just want to go out and have fun and keep winning the games.
Here's the way the voting went for Player of the Year. John Freeze, the Player of the Year. Todd Hamill, the man you're watching today, was number 2, and then on back to Buck Ross, of course, of Georgia Southern. He was number 4. But the bottom line for John Freeze, and I had a chance to be around him earlier this year in a game that we did up in Moscow, Idaho. He's a guy that you really have the feeling, whether or not he was playing this game of football, he's going to be a success. Very nice guy, very bright guy, understands the game, but maybe even more important, he understands life. John Freeze, a guy you can look for, I'm quite certain, in the NFL. If there's any kind of a rap on him, then it would be the fact that perhaps he's not the great runner, but then neither is Kozar, and neither is Everett, and neither is Marino, but he is a happy guy.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank all the SIDs around the nation that voted on this award for me. It really means a lot because of being the top honor in 1AA, and also by who it's after, Walter Payton. I think he really did a lot for this division. Also, I'd like to thank my family and friends and coaches over the last few years that really helped me through the good times as well as the bad times. And last, I'd like to thank my teammates for helping me achieve this award. It's an award that is more of a career award, and also there's a lot of winning that's involved, and we've had success there as well. My only regrets are probably not getting into today's game, but thank you for this award anyway.
And I'll tell you the reason he's not going to get to today's game. It's because it's finals week, and John Freeze wants to graduate on time, graduate with his class. Quite a young man. John Freeze, Player of the Year in Division 1AA. Meanwhile, down on the playing surface, not only the band of Georgia Southern, but the band of Stephen F. Austin, the combined cheerleaders, everybody in the Western Hemisphere on the football field right now. We'll be back.
One dry is brewed longer. One dry is brewed from the most expensive ingredients. One dry refreshes completely. One taste, and you'll know why. The One Dry is Michelob Dry.
Life's full of simple pleasures, like the comfort of Levi's jeans. Or had you forgotten?
The surging Clemson Tiger attack digs in for a major challenge. Major Harris leads West Virginia against Clemson at the Mazda Gator Bowl. Part of Bowl Week, Saturday, December 30th at 8 Eastern, live on ESPN.
20-17 ball game. We are at halftime as the Georgia Southern Eagles lead the Stephen F. Austin State Lumberjacks. Lumberjacks coming over from Nacogdoches, Texas. They lost only one game this year. That was to Boise State, and it was early in the season, but they have really bounced back. They have gotten better as the season has gone along. The hijinks. I've always wanted to say that. I've never used that word. Hijinks. Going on the playing surface right now. These are combined. I think I said these are the bands of Stephen F. Austin and the bands of Georgia Southern, but these are combined high school bands from all around the area, and they had a good time playing out there, and I think we might have a chance to hear them play yet another time. 25,000 people on hand here, quite a setting. What you're looking at really is just between the goal line and the goal line, but actually what is happening is there are fans just about everywhere going all the way back to the corner of the end zone, up on the hills, and this is Lee Greenwood, and he's about to sing us a song. So why don't we go down there and listen to Lee Greenwood, very popular in these parts.
I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love you.